Okay, so it is being speculated, or should I say reported, that Ben Simmons is considering retiring from the NBA. As we know, Ben Simmons is currently unsigned and without a team right now. And to say that I'm happy to see this or happy to hear about this report, and not in the slightest, right? Of course, we know Ben Simmons hasn't been the same player since, his days with Philadelphia when he looked like a premier all-star, one of the best defenders in the NBA. And then what happened in the playoffs when he played with the Philadelphia 76ers was something that ultimately I really didn't see coming, honestly, because Ben Simmons had a lot of promise. We're talking about a guy 6'10", can handle the basketball, just looked like he had the promise of an all NBA, all caliber, year after year after year guy. And then the situation happened when he was with the Sixers, and he just never got back to that level of play. Even with him going to the Brooklyn Nets, even with him going to, the Los Angeles Clippers, just Ben Simmons just hasn't been, dare I say, Ben Simmons. The guy that you've seen at LSU is no more. The guy that you've seen his first few years in Philadelphia is no more. And I don't know what it is. Some people was attesting it to psychological issues. I don't know. Of course, we know about his injuries with the back and all of those other injuries that he was dealing with as well. But, this is another case of, talent wasted, in my opinion. Just a guy that had all of the necessary things and never came through on that promise. I don't know if it was a Philadelphia 76ers front office, coaching staff, or whatever the case may be that went behind the scenes, but those things didn't pan out. He looked promising when he went to the Brooklyn Nets. You thinking, okay, for a start, clean slate. Not that came not to be. Now this year, we did see him in flashes with the Los Angeles Clippers, but now Ben Simmons being without a team, no team wanting to actually sign him, I think the writing is on the wall. Honestly, we know he made enough money. Shout outs to Clutch Sports and things like that, his agency and things like that. But I think, in the realms of looking at a player who, again, like I said, had so much upside coming out, being arguably one of the better younger players. There was reports about, things being said about him when he was first coming into the NBA about what he's going to do and for the next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years and things like that. And to hear this today is like, wow, is Ben Simmons really going to retire? I wouldn't put it past him at this stage, because it's like, even if he does make another team, he's not going to start. We know that. So he's going to have to be comfortable with another bench role. I don't know if his ego, if he does want to start in the NBA still today. But again, as we all know, the road for basketball doesn't stop in the NBA. Ben Simmons' career could go on to much better and greater things in the basketball world. He could have a career overseas. Those teams over there love ex-NBA guys because they still draw crowds. So you played in one of the biggest, international leagues in the NBA. You were a starter. You were rookie of the year. All of these things like that, they're going to pay you to be on one of those teams overseas. So I don't think his basketball journey is over. His NBA journey may be. But again, we don't know. We don't know if this is just rumors. We don't know if, these things are to be true. Clutch Sports or Ben Simmons hasn't came out and said either one of these things. So when you look at it long term, I think right now, it's just, we're probably chasing ghosts at this moment. But I feel like if Ben Simmons doesn't, make an active roster before the NBA season actually starts, he'll probably be sitting around until a team has a injury and then maybe he'll make a roster. But currently, Ben Simmons is contemplating retirement. Let me know what you guys think.